He didn't choose his body, he didn't choose his bloodline, and by the time he was born, his entire life had already been decided by people who would never sit on his back. This is what it actually means to be bred for the show ring. It starts before birth. Breeders don't pair horses for temperament or health or how long an animal might comfortably live. They pair them for a look, a neck angle, a leg length, a trot that photographs well from the rail. Foals are evaluated within weeks. Conformation, movement, the shape of a head. The ones that don't measure up are sold off, repurposed, or quietly disappear from the program. The ones that do are locked into a career they never applied for. By the time a show horse is 2, it's already being handled for hours a day, not turned out in a field to be a horse, trained, longed, lunged, taught to hold a frame, taught stillness that doesn't come naturally to a prey animal built to move. Some disciplines take this further than others. In certain breeds, the exaggerated gait judge's reward isn't something the horse does naturally, it's something achieved through devices, shoeing, and training methods that push right up against, and sometimes past, what's humane. There have been documented cases across multiple show disciplines of horses being drugged before entering the ring, sedated to appear calmer, or masked to hide pain from an injury a judge would otherwise penalize. And injuries are common. A body bred for appearance isn't necessarily a body built for soundness. Straight shoulders, tiny feet, long backs. Traits that win ribbons often make for horses that break down faster under the exact work they're bred to do. The schedule doesn't slow down for that. A competitive show horse can be hauled to a dozen events a year, standing in a trailer for hours. Stalled for most of a day, worked hard for the 10 minutes that matter, then loaded up and driven to the next one. Stalled 20-plus hours a day is normal in this world. A horse is built to walk for miles grazing. Most of a show horse's life is spent standing in a box slightly bigger than its own body. And then there's what happens when the winning stops. A show horse's value is tied directly to performance. Ribbons, placings, a record that makes the animal marketable for breeding or resale. The moment that stops, age, injury, a bad season, the horse's usefulness to the program is in question. Some are retired well, kept, cared for, given a second life as a lesson horse or a companion. Many aren't that lucky. Every year, former competition horses end up in low-end auctions, passed from hand to hand, with no guarantee of where that chain ends. The horses that do stay in the industry face a different kind of pressure, the constant push to keep performing at a level that gets harder to sustain every year on a body that was selected for looks long before anyone thought about longevity. None of this shows up in the ring. What the crowd sees is a coat that gleams, a stride that looks effortless, a horse standing perfectly still while a judge walks around it. What they don't see is the years of management it took to produce those 90 seconds. Or what happens to the horse the moment the class ends. It's worth saying, not every show barn operates this way. There are trainers who prioritize welfare, who retire their horses properly, who breed for soundness as much as looks. The industry isn't a monolith. But the incentives built into competitive showing reward appearance, reward winning. Treat the horse as a means to a ribbon. Push even well-meaning people toward decisions that don't always serve the animal. A show horse doesn't get a say in any of it. Not the breeding, not the training, not the schedule, not what happens when it stops winning. It's a life built entirely around a few minutes of looking perfect. And perfect, it turns out, comes at a cost most people watching from the stands never think to ask about. If you liked this crazy story about show horses, make sure to drop a like and subscribe with the notification bell on to not miss the next daily dose of horses.